Thank you for being with us. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and this is Mature Living. And as you know, we want to bring you information about fitness, about exercise, about staying healthy. Wellness programs are so important for us to live longer, healthier. And of course, it's not just about living longer, it's about living healthy. And so we've invited Dr. Sandor Dorgo. Good to meet you.
Very good to be here.
And I understand you mentioned that you've been here before to Mature Living some years back.
A number of years ago, yes.
And you are the director of the physical fitness program at UTEP, the Golden Age program.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your program and how old it is now and how you all are doing.
Absolutely. The full title is Physical Fitness in the Golden Age, and we started the program. I established the program in the fall of 2005. We started in January 2006, so we are almost 9 years old in operation. And we've been going strong and growing. And the program is a comprehensive program for older adults to improve their health and fitness, and an exercise-oriented program to help their function and mobility and to help them to successful aging.
Absolutely. Successful aging is so important for all of us because we're living longer.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we need a little motivation. We can't do it at home.
Yes.
I don't like to do things by myself. I am kind of a social kind of person, and I'd rather do it with others.
Yes.
And so is that the idea of the program? How many?
It is a very important component to the program, that there's peer support, there's sort of a little community, and the community of the participants are motivating and encouraging each other. The scientific literature also shows that motivation and social support is a very key component for older adults to become active and to stay physically active. And that's absolutely a major component to our program.
And your program is held at UTEP in the gym, and I understand you're expanding.
Yes.
But how does one sign up, or how are you eligible to join the program?
There's really a very few criteria we have for eligibility. People have to be 60 years of age or older. That is one eligibility criteria, and they have to be healthy enough for physical exercise. Their health needs to be conducive enough for to be released by their doctor. And once they have a doctor's note to release them for exercise and they meet the age criteria, they just need to call us. And
do you charge for the program?
There is a nominal fee, a fairly minimal fee compared to other fitness opportunities out there, but it is $90 for a full semester, and the semester goes from September through December or from January through May, so it comes down to about a couple of dollars a week.
Wonderful. And so do they meet? How often do their participants meet?
In the very first so up to this point, our program was exclusively on the UTEP campus. We have a small facility on the UTEP campus called the Rossmore facility. We call it the Fitness Research Facility, and that's where the program has been exclusively. And this semester, for the first time ever, we were able to expand to a second location, and hopefully more expansions are coming in the future.
Yes, I foresee it.
Yes. And so in the very first semester, we are asking the participants to commit to 2 training sessions a week.
Okay.
So the program is twice a week, but once they went through the first semester and they become a little bit more comfortable with the program, they are free to come more often or more times a week. So most of our participants are coming 3 or 4 times a week.
And that's enough. If you do it 3 times a week, you're in good shape.
Absolutely.
And what are some of the exercises and the activities that you have in your program?
So one of the unique features of our program is that we are a very comprehensive exercise program, or we are providing a comprehensive program to the participants, a much more comprehensive program than you would find elsewhere, because we are not only focusing on the cardiovascular aspects or the weight training aspects, but we're also focusing on function and mobility and balance and flexibility, coordination. And so we are approaching things from a functional perspective. We want the older adults to regain some of the function they may have lost.
Absolutely.
And to be stronger, to regain some of the muscle mass they may be losing.
Is it possible
It is possible, yes.
to be sedentary for whatever reason, either by choice or by health, and then regain some of that muscle mass and strength and leg strength? It's possible with
If someone is sedentary and someone lost muscle mass,
It's couch potato.
yes. If someone belongs to that category, it is much more possible than those who are active. So we are losing muscle mass and muscle strength and bone mass and a variety of physiological functions naturally over the years. And there's nothing we can do about it. But we can slow down the process. We can slow down the loss. If someone is sedentary, they are losing their strength and losing their muscle mass at a faster level.
Yes.
If they become exercise enthusiasts and they start exercises, they can regain some of that. It may not be very quick, but it can be regained.
Do you use students
Yes.
in kinesiology for your program?
Yes, our kinesiology students are involved in the program. There are a few graduated students who are working as supervisors, and then we have a large group of students in any given semester. This current semester we have nearly 70 students who are helping the other adult participants in a one-on-one or one-on-two ratio attention. They are helping them with their exercise setup, and they are motivating them and supervising them. And these are active students in the program who are doing their field work.
And so
for
you're
coursework.
directing the whole
Yes.
show
Yes.
of how many classes, how many students enrolled during each semester.
Yes.
It just depends on the activity.
It depends on how many students we have, but given that the kinesiology department is itself growing very rapidly, we have more and more students, and more students can serve more and more participants.
And we have more and more seniors.
And we have more and more seniors. And we want to reach out for more and more.
Absolutely. And this is the right place to do it.
I
mean,
hope
this
so.
is a mature living show. It is a show for seniors, by seniors, and you are very important. UTEP, the kinesiology department, you as a director, Dr. Dorgo, you know, it's really, really important that we promote good health
Yes.
in El Paso.
Yes. I agree. All the adults need to be aware that they need to exercise. They need to be aware that exercise is very important for them. And if they exercise, they improve their health and their longevity, and they're going to have a higher quality of life.
Yes.
And so we want to bring this awareness to them, and then we want to bring them an opportunity to engage in a quality program, which is more than just if they go out to the parking lot and do some little bit of walking on their own. That's great for a start, but everybody needs a little bit more than that. And so
stretching
our
is
department is there to provide a quality program and allow that opportunity.
Well, the only thing left to do is to give us your telephone number, because I'm sure we've probably sparked up some interest. And of course, we offer free classes for seniors in exercise and dance and a whole variety of movement kinds of classes. But yours is very structured, it's beautiful. And so can we give the phone number?
Yes, absolutely. Our phone number is 747-6091. And that is our central phone number on the UTEP campus. But again, we just opened a second, not a facility, but a second location in collaboration with the El Paso Parks and Recreation Department. And that is at the Album Park on the east side.
Gary del Palacio.
The Gary del Palacio Recreation Center. And we started a few weeks ago, and it's going very successfully.
Oh, I'm so happy.
And we are open for more enrollment.
And we also are good partners of the City Parks and Rec.
Yes.
So
Yes,
we're
absolutely.
moving right along. UTEP, EPCC, and the City
Parks and
Rec.
Recreation, absolutely.
Okay, well, we'll be back with more guests. I want to continue talking to Dr. Dorgo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We want to continue our show with such interesting information, and this is so important in society to relieve some of that stigma of mental illness. And NAMI is here in El Paso. It's a national organization. It's the National Alliance of Mental Illness. And we have invited Dr. Patty Fernandez, who is a PhD, and she's going to explain to us her role with NAMI. And so if you hear NAMI, you can also be volunteers, and you can help to be able to be more understanding and more knowledgeable and educated about mental illness. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you
That was
so much.
kind of a long introduction, but I got really excited about your work
Good.
and what NAMI represents. Tell me a little bit about NAMI
Right. So NAMI.
and your title.
Sure. So I'm the director of programs at or NAMI here in El Paso, and NAMI stands for National Alliance on Mental Illness, and it's a national organization. It started in 1979 at the national level, and here in El Paso, similar story. It started in the 80s. And so it was started by 3 families who did not know what to do with their children, who had just their first crisis with mental illness. And so literally they started out of somebody's garage. And they were there for several years. Talk about passion.
Oh,
And
yes.
so one of the things that we pride ourselves is in being a grassroots organization. So many of our perspectives are from the perspective of either ourselves suffering from mental illness or having a loved one who has mental
Or
illness.
know a family
That's
or
right.
that suffer. There's so much of this out there that we didn't realize before. And now with science and technology and with health, being so wonderful. What is your PhD in? What is
It's in health psychology. So
health
it's more
psychology.
community health.
Yes, community health.
Right.
It's wonderful what you do with many volunteers that help you. Tell me what NAMI does in El Paso.
Good. So we actually do support groups for those who are affected with mental illness and their families. And we also have education classes. We have we give presentations in the community, and every once in a while we'll also do something with research. So right now, for example, we have a grant from Paso del Norte, and we're able to provide these classes, and they're all free of cost.
Oh
Any
my
of our
goodness,
services.
that is so
That's
good.
right.
Families don't have to suffer on their own if they have family members with what kinds of mental illness do you deal with?
Any, right? So anywhere from schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, borderline personality. So what we do in our classes, for example, is we try to educate whoever comes in about what is mental illness. And then we start talking about what are medications? How do they affect our loved ones? We forget that some of those medications are very strong, so strong that it almost changes their personality.
Yes.
Right, and so
And that's one of the reasons why most patients don't take them, because it makes them feel so different, so out of it, I guess, and they stop taking them, and that's a mistake.
That's right.
Because there's balance that has to happen.
That's
I'm
right.
Sure.
For some of the medications, it actually takes several weeks for them to fully take effect, and so by the time that they're taking effect, it's quite a bit. So if they stop taking them, it's not very often. You know, and you're talking about how it is more prominent or more prevalent, and you're right. A good statistic to remember in terms of mental illness: 1 out of 4. So we had 2 more people sitting in here. We knew that 1 of us 4 was struggling with mental illness. That's a pretty high number.
And it's something that doesn't show sometimes.
That's right.
Because it comes and goes, or it happens at night, or there's depression, and so people can be functional,
very
successful.
Yes, very, and I'm glad that you said that. We were talking before. Now we have more TV shows that are trying to show that you can go on with life, and that's what we're trying to tell people in our community. Once we educate people about what is mental illness, then we understand how we can go on so that we don't have stigma.
Yes.
Unfortunately, many people are afraid of those who have mental illness, and they're just like anybody else, right? And so, but this is a sad thing. 80% of those who are on disability because of mental illness, depression being the main one.
Yes,
so that's a pretty high number, 80%.
And when we go to support groups, or when we find NAMI in the community, and you're in many communities because it's a national organization, you offer your services free, you educate, you train, or what happens?
So, and I'm glad you re-mentioned